We are back with more on WHHI News. Hey, have you noticed there's been a change in the real estate market? I bet you have. And here to explain what is going on here on Hilton Head Island and beyond, James Wedgeworth, good to see you.
It's always good to come visit with you guys.
Well, I remember there was a frenzied time here not that long ago where things were selling, boom, boom, boom. You had multiple offers. People would buy without even coming to look.
Yes,
not
yes,
now.
yes. Not now. It slowed a little.
Why?
Well, you had asked me earlier about mortgage rates. And the mortgage rates approximately have gone from about, on 30-year fixed, from about 2.75 to 7% in the last 3 or 4 months. So that's a pretty drastic increase in a short period of time.
Sure. And that ends up snowballing or affecting other issues such as your inventory, correct?
Inventory.
How's that doing these days? I mean, there was not a lot out there a while ago.
Well, the inventory is still traditionally lower than it's been, but it's significantly larger than it was amounts 3 months ago.
Okay.
So it's still, there's not much for sale, and certain markets are better than other markets, but obviously the interest rates do affect the market.
Well, I want to ask you this because someone told me, someone I know, that a lot of these deals, real estate deals, are paid with cash, 50% or more. So if that's the case, how would the mortgage rates affect home buying here?
Okay, I think I understand your question. What that means is back in the spring, about half the sales on Hilton Head were cash sales.
Right.
What that means is they were not contingent upon financing. Now, that doesn't mean that the people buying it just whipped their checkbook out and wrote a check for the amount. What they normally do is they have a line of credit on their house back in Pennsylvania. They might have a line of credit in their business. So they're not getting a mortgage on this property. They're getting the money from another source, a local bank, a line of credit, a line of credit on their business. So they're still paying that, quote, 5 to 7% interest rate. So people just always, because they ask me, I can't believe you asked me, because they ask me that all the time. They say, well, what do you care about interest rates? Half your buyers are paying cash, and the majority of buyers over $3 million are paying cash. And I say, well, they really borrowing it. They're just not borrowing it on this house.
Right.
So it does affect them too.
Sure. I mean, those rates are going to go up and down on other available sources if they're borrowing the money or they've got an available line. Yeah.
I would estimate, and I've never run a study on this, just off the top of my head, that if 50% of the people are paying cash, 40% of the 50, or no, actually, 40% of the 100, which would be only about 10%, actually pull out their checkbook and write a check, give it to the attorney, or call their bank and wire the money to the attorney. They go back and get the money somewhere else. Right. So that affects the market. Yeah.
So are you still seeing like the home? I mean, remember the homes were going within an hour sometimes, or a day or two. Is stuff staying on the market longer, and are people reducing prices?
Yes to those two things. I ran an interesting statistic in April of last year. The sales price related to the list price was 1.5% over the list price. And last month it was 97%. So that's a 4.5% differential. And the reason the sales price was above the list price is if you get in a multiple offer situation, people say, well, I'll pay $10,000 above list price, and the seller takes that. So that has changed a good bit. It's a function of the number of offers.
So for those people that were kind of waiting for that peak so they could get the most they could get, squeeze every dollar out if they list their home and they haven't listed yet, have they kind of missed out on that top?
It's still a good market. Here's the word I use. It's not a crazy market. In March and April, our real estate market was crazy. I remember I went out to show property one day and I came back and Aaron, my closing coordinator, says, you have 10 offers on this property, and I did a spreadsheet for you. So I looked down at the spreadsheet where she said price, financing, home inspection, yes or no, closing date, other contingencies. Because she made it easy for me to understand. I haven't had that happen recently. So
Well, you're going to join us again, aren't you, and keep us updated on how things are going?
be glad to.
All right, James Wedgeworth, it's always great to have
It's
you
a
here.
pleasure.
And we will be back with more on WHHI-TV News right after this.